morning, everyone. Welcome back to Children's Chapel this third Sunday of Easter. Today we have our tall candles. Does anyone remember what it's called? It starts with a Paschal. Paschal candle, because we're in the season of Easter. Alright, and remember, watch out Miles, here we go. In Jesus was life, and the life was the light of man. The light shines in the darkness, and the darkness has not overcome it.
Good job.
Okay.
Alright,
Papa
guys.
will tell the story today.
So, the evening that Jesus rose, the evening of Easter Sunday, it happened that two of his friends, what do we call his friends sometimes? We give them a special name. Disciples, that's right, Eleanor. That means followers, people who were following him.
Who believed in him.
They were walking from Jerusalem to a town called Emmaus. And it was a long walk. Emmaus was a town a little ways away. So here we go. We got two friends right there. And they're walking along. And they're talking about everything that had happened. What happened on Good Friday? Do you remember what happened on Good Friday? What happened, Fritz?
He died.
He died, right? Eleanor, do you remember what happened on Holy Saturday?
He rose.
Sit right here with us. He didn't rise on Holy Saturday. He rested in the tomb, right? He died and he was buried. And these two friends who were followers of Jesus, they were talking about that and saying how much they missed him and how sad they were. And especially how sad they were that he didn't save Israel. They thought he was going to save the people, and he didn't. And then all of a sudden, a third person started walking along with them. Look at this, Fritz. Who's that walking with them? Thank you, Maya. Jesus. But guess what? His two friends, they were so sad and they were so busy, and God kept them from seeing who it was. It was like there was something over their eyes. It was like they couldn't see that it was Jesus. And when he said, "What are you guys talking about?" They said, "Are you crazy? Have you been living under a rock, mister?" Kind of a joke, because he was living he was in the tomb behind the rock. That's a bad joke. But they said, "What do you mean, and what are we talking about? We're talking about all the stuff that just happened and how sad we are because we thought God had sent him Messiah and we were wrong because Jesus of Nazareth suffered and died, so he must not have been the Messiah." And Jesus said to them, "Oh, how foolish and slow of heart to believe all that the Scriptures said." And you know what he did, Fritz?
What?
He told them that this is exactly what God's plan was for the Messiah. This is exactly what God intended for his special chosen servant, his anointed servant, who is being sent to save not just the people of Israel, but who else? Who did he? Well, not himself, but who did Jesus come to save? Did he come to save just the Jewish people? Everyone, the whole world, right? So they walked along, and the whole time they're walking along, Jesus is telling them about the Scriptures, and they don't even know it's Jesus, and he's explaining to them what the Scriptures, what the Bible said about him, that they should have recognized him and ready to say that, oh yes, the Messiah had to suffer and die. So eventually they got to an inn one night. I think Miles wanted this little chalice and paten to be like their inn. They got to an inn for the night, and they said to Jesus, though they didn't know it was Jesus, they said to this person, Fritz, "Stay with us. It's almost evening. It's about to be dark. It's dangerous to be on the roads. Stay with us and have supper with us and stay here at the inn for the night." So they went into the inn, and they gathered at the table, and Jesus took the bread, and he blessed the bread, and he broke it. And when he broke the bread, guess what? Suddenly, as he's breaking the bread, they realized who it was. They could see that it was Jesus who had been walking with them and talking to them the whole time. And the minute they recognized him, guess what? He vanished from their sight. They didn't see him anymore.
Fritz, can you take Jesus away?
So what do you suppose? Yeah, can you take Jesus away? Good job, Eleanor. So what do you suppose the two friends did? Do you suppose they were like, "Well, this has been a long day of walking. I suppose we should probably just turn in for the night and we can think more about this tomorrow"? What would you do if someone that you loved who had died and you thought was gone forever, you realized you saw him? What would you do? Was that Eleanor?
Or her.
Or her? What would you do, Fritz?
What do you mean?
Would you be so excited?
Would you keep it to yourself? Would you be like, no big deal. That person was dead, but now he's alive, but who cares? I gotta keep going to Emmaus.
She would fighting.
No, you would run and tell everybody. And that's exactly what these two friends did. They ran back all the way to Jerusalem, and they went to the disciples, and they said, "We've seen Jesus." And the disciples said, "So have we." And they knew that the Lord was risen because their hearts burned within them when he talked about the Bible, and they recognized him in the breaking of the bread. So when we read the Bible, we find that God is taking those blinders away from our eyes. He's helping us to see Jesus as he really sent him to be, to live and die and rise again for us. And Fritzy, when do we share in the breaking of the bread? Do we ever share in the breaking of the bread in church? Anything that sound like that to you? At communion, we ask that in communion God will open our eyes and that we will see Jesus in all his redeeming work. All right, you guys are awesome. Shall we sing our Easter hymn? Can we sing our Easter hymn? There you go, Miles. Jesus Christ is risen today. Alleluia. Sons of men and angels say, Alleluia. Who did once upon the cross, Alleluia, suffer to redeem our loss, Alleluia. Alright, I think Papa mixed up some verses there. It's a stressful morning. It works okay. Alright, is it Miles' turn to blow out the candle?
No.
Okay, you together. Good job. Thank you guys. Thanks, Eleanor.